Hello, and welcome to Lesson 15, Exploring Neural Filters. Neural filters utilize machine learning to enhance traditional filters, generating outputs that integrate advanced techniques alongside conventional algorithms. I'm going to go ahead and open up Photoshop. I'm going to go to File, Open. I'm going to go to my desktop, my Photoshop Lessons folder, Lesson 15, and I'm going to select all three of these images, and I'm going to say open. I'm going to save this file, save as. I'm going to put it back into my Lesson 15 folder. I'm going to leave the 15 restore, and I'm going to put a hyphen and my last name and choose save. I'm going to go under the filter menu, and I'm going to go to neural filters. In the neural filters workspace, the image appears in a large preview area on the left, and the Neural Filters panel is on the right. To use a filter, it must be enabled. A filter is enabled when a toggle switch is moved to the right position and in color. You can enable multiple filters. In the filters list, we're going to scroll down to the restoration category. And I've already downloaded this filter. If the toggle switch is not available and a download button appears instead, click the download button because it means the filter is not yet installed. When the download completes, the filter will install itself and be ready for you to use. So I'm going to go ahead and select the toggle switch and activate this. Note, some neural filters may be labeled beta, which means they function but are still under development. You can use them, but when the finished version is released, those filters may produce different results or some options may be different. To compare the changes with the original, we'll click the Show Original button at the bottom of the workspace. We'll click once to hide the changes and see the original, and click again to preview the changes again. As you can see, the changes were very subtle. Let's make some additional adjustments to this photo. We'll go over to the right-hand side. With the Photo Enhancement, we'll leave it at its default value of 50. We'll reduce the enhanced face to 15 to preserve more of the original file texture. We'll adjust the scratch reduction to 20. A progress bar at the bottom of the image may indicate that it will take a little while. When it's done, the scratch is intelligently removed, which you can verify using the Show Original button. To see the before and after, I'll click the Show Original, and here's the improvement. Under Output, I have these options: Current Layer, a new layer masked, Smart, or New Document. The book is recommending that we choose Smart Filter. So I'll select Smart Filter and I'll select OK. Now, as you can see at the top of my image, I still have some imperfections in it, and I have this spot over here to the right. I'm going to go ahead and remove those by going to the bottom right corner and selecting the Create New Layer. I'm going to go to my Spot Healing brush, and I want to make sure that Content Aware is on. I'm going to increase my brush size by selecting my right bracket key. And I'm just going to go ahead and select that to remove the torn paper at the top of this photo. And I'm going to select this dot right here. And you can make other modifications as you see fit. I'm going to zoom in here. My brush size is a little large. I'm going to use my left bracket key to reduce the size of the brush. And I'm going to say that I like that. So I'm going to select Control 0 to zoom out. Now, I'd like to do another narrow filter on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select on layer 1. I'm going to hold down my Alt key, my Control key, my Shift key, and the letter E, and create another layer. Now I have layer 2, and I'm going to say Colorize. And I'm going to select Enter. I'm now going to use another filter. I'm going to go up to Filter, Neural Filters, I'm going to choose Colorize. If you do not have this option available, make sure that you download this first. I'm going to select the toggle button to activate that. It does a pretty good job. It's not exactly what I was looking for. To reduce the intensity of the colors with this filter, I will adjust the saturation level to the left. And I'm going to choose color artifact reduction. I want to see if this helps at all. And noise reduction. And I do want to output this as a new color layer. And I'm going to select New Layer Masked and the OK button. I want to continue to improve this image. I'm going to select my eyedropper, and I'm going to select this brown right here in the top left corner of her dress. And I'm going to grab the brush, and I'm going to see if I can just paint over top of this blue and do a better job so that it looks more uniform and like what I had anticipated this image to look like. I'm going to go ahead and save this file. Save. I'm going to open up the Colorize PSD file. I'm going to go up to Filter, Neural Filters. I'm going to scroll to the Color category. I'm going to choose Colorize. I'm going to make sure that I turn on the toggle so that it's activated. It said that make sure that Auto Color Image is activated. Colorize filter applies assumed colors to objects and regions it recognizes, such as the leaves on the tree and the boy's skin and clothing. If you disagree with the color choice Colorize made, for example, if the shirt is not all the same color, you can apply custom colors to specific areas. So I'm going to go ahead and say New Layer, and I'm going to use New Layer Mask again, and I'm going to say OK. And from here, I'm going to zoom in, Control Plus. I want to remove the blue tone from the inside of the barn by painting black with the brush tool on the mask layer. And I want to use black. I'm going to use a brush. And let's see what happens if I try to remove this. What happens here? By painting with black on my mask, I am hiding this part of the image that was colorized when I used the neural filter. So instead of it being blue, it goes back to the same color tint that was there before. And I went a little bit too far right here with the door. Okay. I like that better than the blue color that was selected. I'm going to go ahead and select the eyedropper. I'm going to see if I can fix his sweater. And I want to make sure that I select the blue in the image, select the brush. I'm going to select a new layer. I'm going to select color. And I can now go and fix his sweater to better match how the image is supposed to look. And I'm just going to select layer 2 and I'm going to name this sweater. I'm going to select Control minus. So you can tell that it's not perfect, the neural filters, but it'll continue to improve. I'm going to save this one as File, Save As, Colorize, a hyphen, and my last name. And save. The last image that we're going to work on is the composite PSD. In the composite PSD, we have three layers, a guardian type layer, a heroine layer, and the planet layer. We're going to go ahead and create a more convincing composite. When compositing multiple images, the image may not be consistent in tone and color. Some neural filters can help resolve this. I'm going to make sure that the planet layer is selected, and I'm going to choose Filter, Neural Filters. In the filters list, I'm going to scroll down to Creative, and I'm going to click to enable the toggle switch next to the Landscape Mixer filter. The Landscape Mixer filter can apply the look of one landscape image to another. Depending on the landscape image you mix, you can even change a scene from summer to winter or fill a desert image with green foliage. In the Layer Mixer options, you can click the different presets that are listed to experiment with how each of them alters the landscape attributes of the layer. I'm going to select the fourth preset. That's the one that will be used for this project. Here's the before, and here is the after. For the output, I'm going to choose Smart Filter, and I'm going to select OK. I'm next going to select the heroine layer, and I'm going to make sure that that is active. And I'm going to choose Filter, Neural Filters. And in the color category, I'm going to enable the toggle switch next to the harmonization filter. The harmonization filter helps match the color and tone of the layer to another layer in the document. In the reference image, where it says select a layer, I'm going to select Planet. The color and tone of the heroine layer change to better match the color and light of the planet layer, but it could be improved. In the harmonization options, I'm going to drag the cyan red slider about halfway towards the red. And I'm going to drag the saturation level to about 15. And I'm going to reduce the brightness by -30. You can make any other adjustments that will make the composite more convincing. To see the before and after, I can show the original button. Here's the before, and here's the after. For the output, I'm going to choose Smart Filters, and I'm going to click OK to apply. In the Layers panel, I'm going to click the eye icon for the Guardian type layer to make it visible. And I've completed the video thumbnail. Neuro filters transform the look of both images in just a few steps, making them work together to match the mood and the look of the production. I'm going to save my work. I'm going to select File, Save As. I'm going to put a hyphen and my last name. And I'm going to choose Save. OK. I have my Creative Cloud icon in my taskbar. I'm going to select that. I'm going to select Files. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm just going to name this Chapter 15. I'll save that. I'll double-click to open it. I'm going to select the plus symbol on the right-hand side. I'm going to upload. I'll go to my Lessons folder. And I want to make sure that I select the ones that have my last name. So I'm going to select the first one. I'm going to hold down the Control key or the Option key on a Mac to select the images that are not consecutive, but have my last name, and I'll say Open. I'm going to convert to a cloud document and select Continue. And this will take a few minutes for these images to upload. I'll have to select each individual file, online only, and I'm going to go ahead and select the share icon. Only invited people can access is fine. I'll select copy. You'll go into your lesson 15 assignment on campus, and now you're going to have to paste this into the comment section instead of the URL section because you're going to have multiple. So you'll copy this one, and you'll do the same for the other two images. You'll copy, you'll share, you'll copy, and you'll go ahead and you will share, and you will copy these links into the comment section in your Canvas Lesson 15 assignment. When I click on your unique URLs in a browser, I will be able to view all of your Photoshop files and all of the layers. This concludes Lesson 15. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial.